Okay, so let's take a look at what happened today. If you want to hear what I said about what might happen today, you can go back to post 715 and watch the video from yesterday where I talked about what I thought might happen today. And also, Reardon, if you're watching this, I'll wait to give you some feedback on, and we'll see if Scott tries to give some feedback. Scott, if you're listening to this before you give any feedback, I had put there if you want to try to give Reardon some feedback. I thought that'd be a good idea. As I was getting ready to type out some feedback today, I was like, well, you know what, let's let Scott do that so you can kind of cement in some of the things since you're doing so well here lately. I think that would be helpful for you to kind of cement in some of those things that, you know, to teach it to somebody else, help you really lock some of those things in as well while you're doing really well here. So let's get back to today. So we had from here to here was the overnight channel, and it pops out, comes back with some action, and you know, I mentioned in the video last night, you know, as it moved up, it may move up towards 1880 and then give you some bearish action. That's exactly what it did. And I also mentioned I probably wouldn't take any of the shorts. I wasn't up during this time, but I'll be honest, it would have been really hard not to take this. So had I been up, I probably would have lied. Probably would have taken that, but I wasn't up, so I didn't. Price moved down, gave you a sucker right here. Didn't quite get back inside of the action, and it continued down. So here's one where it hadn't quite proven yet that the down move was over. But we also talked, though, don't be surprised if it starts moving down with news and everything. It'll probably take an opportunity to try to break through that low from the day before. So with the low the day before and with this low right here, it starts looking like something we saw a few days ago in the other direction. But it challenged it, and then it started moving back up during the U.S. session. Now, on this chart that I'm using just to do the video, that doesn't look bearish, but on my other feeds that are more accurate, it was bearish. And then you had a bullish action here. So you really could have entered right here, right on this bottom of the channel, and that would have been an excellent entry anywhere around there. So it's like at 47 or so. Depending on what you wanted to use as your stop here, you could have gone down back below this last little pullback for 13. You got 25, 6 up to, well, let's see, up to that top is like 28, so that's 2 to 1. Now, you would have had to withstand the news here. So what I did today, just to kind of show you that if you have a good, comfortable feeling about what's going on in price, if you can really, and if you're in sync with what with what price is doing, you can wait till after the news. Now, I took a chance of totally missing this trade, but if it would have taken off, but it didn't. It stopped about right here. So even after that, even down to the bottom of this candle, that gave you about 15 pips of risk. So 15 pips of risk for about 21, 22 here. But I really wasn't just looking for it to go to 22 pips. I was looking to do exactly what it did, was then head on up and challenge those highs. So I was still risk reward in my favor, but that wasn't really what I was measuring it by. I was measuring it by getting all the way up here to the area that broke down the other day. So that was the trade that I took, being even extra cautious and patient. It came up here, got about 64 pips. I didn't close it here. I closed it after these actions right here. But but if you would have entered from here, you most likely would have closed after this action right here. So you could have even closed it out at 70 plus on the move up there. There was nothing during this period of time that told you to close it. But now, if you're following along with and trying to learn to become profitable, I'd recommend entering down here, and then when it moves, this 10 to 12 pips in your favor, go ahead and take a first profit, and then start shrinking up your stop down here so you lock in a profit on it, and then see if it'll go ahead and run. So on that one, you would have had 10, 12 pips on the first one, and then you would have had upwards of 60 pips or so on the second one, 70 pips on the second. So it would have been a heck of a two-part trade there. What are we looking for tomorrow? Well, prices continuing to move up, so we're generally going up, and I've got two areas marked here. I've got this line where we broke down the other day, where it rejected from today. I've marked it obviously because that's what we've got to get through. And I've marked this. This is, if you remember from the last night's video, this is the price that we've generally been rotating around yesterday, and then this morning we're rotating around it as well until it finally broke out. So today, what am I looking for? Don't really know. I don't know if we'll get through this area. It is the last day of the month and all. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce down here between 50 and back up here between 19. So 1850 to 19. That wouldn't surprise me. What I'd like to see would be us to go up into 20 or maybe even a little higher, pull back, and then have a chance to go long and then approach up to 120. I don't know if we'll do that today. We'll have to see, but what I definitely, no matter what, as I look for my long to set up, I don't want to see it break down below the 1850 down here where it was rotating. Then I'll get concerned that if we got below it and it revisited, I'd be concerned we'd be going down after these lows again. So there is a possibility for taking a short, but I'd really like to see this hold down here. If it's going to move down overnight and get down into here, I really want to see it hold, and I really want to see some bullish action so I can then try to go long again. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Don't know if any of it will happen, but just kind of keeping in mind, so one, does it just bounce between 1900 and 1850? We'll see. Does it move down to 1850 and just hang out? We'll see. Does it try to go up and then reject? We'll see. I'd like to see it go up, pull back, and then boom. I'd like to see it get past the 1920 to 25 area, get past that, come back to it, and then push away from that. That would be a nice maybe opportunity at a long, depending on how it sets up. So we'll see. So those are my thoughts, and hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helped.